Hi, I'm Johannes Schindelin and I'm Git for Windows' maintainer. And today I would like to show you how I prepared the release candidate 0, so the first pre-release of Git for Windows 2.28. So first of all, on Thursday, Git 2.28.0-rc0 was published. That's a tagged version. And so Git for Windows needs to transport all of the Windows-specific patches that have not yet made it into proper Git, but still are maintained in that friendly fork called Git for Windows on top of the upstream version. So here I have a Visual Studio Code instance, and I'm in a terminal. That's my Git SDK bash. So there is a Git bash, which is the bash of the end user installation of Git for Windows, and there's the Git for Windows SDK, which is much bigger and which is used to compile everything that's needed to make a new Git for Windows version. First of all, I set the environment variable Git editor to code-w. That has the effect whenever Git wants to start an editor, it tells Visual Studio Code that it wants to open a file, and the -w means that it will only return once that file has been edited and that tab has been closed. So let's start with that. And now I will start a new branch. Switch -c. I'm creating a branch that I will call rebase to 2.28, just like that. And I will start from origin main. Origin main is the main branch of Git for Windows. In my case, origin is my original remote, and that's of the Git for Windows fork. That's not to be confused with the Git remote. I also have that, and I call that upstream. So let's start with that. Now, Git for Windows has about 140 separate little branches on top of Git. And these little branches, they are all managed in a crisscross history. So I can show you this a little bit. Graph on one line. Look at, one line. It takes a little while. And now the lines are so long that I have to wrap them. So that's the -S in the pager that I'm using. So here you see that there are a couple of merge commits, and they all merge 1 or 3, a couple of patches in. And these are managed on top of Git. Now, every time a new Git version comes out, we rebase them on top of that new version. Rebasing, however, rewrites history. So if there's a pull request open and we just rebase and then force push to our main branch, that means that the PR, the pull request, will all of a sudden have merge conflicts because of already applied patches that now no longer apply. That's not what we want. So basically we want something that has all the rebased patches, but also something that knows, hey, this is my previous history, and that's not something that's in the PR, that's in the main branch. So what we do is we rebase, but we start with a merge commit whose only purpose is to take in the former commit history. So that what's now origin main, so the tip of our current main branch, that will be merged in right at the beginning of the rebase, but without taking the code changes. It only takes the commit history. And by that, it fast forwards. So it's a trivial merge if you have a PR. And by that, you can also just, in the PR, ask, what are my commits? By calling git log origin/main ... with your branch. But we also rebase our patches, and by that we make sure that they are always in a pristine state that we could contribute if we deem the patches ready for upstream. Okay, let's do this. Usually what I would do if I wanted to just rebase, call rebase-i and then rebase-merges in order to keep the commit topology, so those merge commits. But in this case, I also want to start with that fake merge, or not fake merge, but the merge that only takes in the former commit history without taking the changes. And we call that a merging rebase, and we have a script for that. It's in our build extra repository, and it's called shears. Shears like garden shears, because we work with thickets of branches, and so that's a little funny thing. So we start with -- merging, which says please start the rebase by creating that merge commit, and then we want to put this on top of this tag. So that is the tag of Git. You can notice that it doesn't have this .windows.1. That will be the case once we publish this, or I published this on Friday, so it's already. And now the base of the rebase, so the commit on top of which the patches are that we want to rebase, in order to say the last merging rebase, so the last merge, that was the base of the former rebase, we tell the script merging rebase, so it should just look for that. Little side note, what it actually does, it looks for head, and now this is a construct where by a caret and curlies you can tell Git that it should not look exactly for head, but it should look for something where we look for a regex. Start the merging rebase. So if you do that, you find in the commit history, starting from your current tip, the closest commit whose commit message starts with the regex start the merging rebase. So I could write out the spaces here, but with spaces I would have to quote, and I'm just lazy there. So this will find the previous merging rebase, which I have performed on 1st of June. So back to here, let's start this. It takes a little while to generate the script because there are a couple of lines in there. Now it says, waiting for your editor to close the file. That's good, because now we can close this and we have the script here. Let's look at the beginning. At first, you see that it starts itself, the script, and it produces that merging rebase. Again, that merge that takes in only the previous commit history, but none of the changes. And then comes the thing that's a little bit different from regular rebases. That's label onto. So by this, we say, now we want to have a name of the current tip so that we can refer to it later. For example, here in the reset onto, where we reset the current working tree to that particular revision. We also do that here in the next branch, and so on. Here we also label the branches. So these names are actually generated from the merge commits, because they're a bit idiomatic. They always start with merge branch and then in quotes the name of the branch. And let's look where that's merged. Fine, that's here in the ready for upstream thicket. And it uses this commit, which was the previous merge, to generate the merge commit message. So this is a huge script that has all of the, I think it's something like, probably something like 250 patches right now, organized in several branches on top of Git. So I don't need to edit this, just save it, I close it, and I go back to the terminal, and here you see that it generates the merging rebase commit. See our strategy, which says don't take any changes, and now it continues to do the things, to rebase all the patches, to generate the merge commits on top of upstream Git. I'm not going to wait here because I said everything I want to say. Thank you for your attention.